The shadows of storm and night, the mysteries of life and light, from unearthly peculiarities, celestial and divine, to apparitions and transcendental signs. You're listening to the Spirit Podcast.
Welcome back to the Spirit. I'm Beck, your bridge walker between worlds, and tonight we're dialing in to a frequency many have heard, but few have named. This is what some are calling the Signal War. This isn't just about technical glitches or weird texts. It's about something ancient, a struggle over your perception, your intuition, your very soul frequency. We're diving deep into mysterious digital interference, phantom texts, signal hijacks, voices and static. The ancient Annunaki, revered by some, feared by others. The manipulation of belief itself as a spiritual weapon. And how to stay sovereign through what many believe is an active war on consciousness. With me is my co-host Rachel. Rachel, welcome.
Welcome back.
Have you ever had a moment where tech glitched and it felt personal, like something was trying to get through?
Many times. Recent ones in the car, like having a conversation in the car and then all of a sudden something just glitched out like crazy in the dashboard, like on the radio, and you're like, what was that?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Reports have been rising. Blank text messages sent at 3:33 or 4:44. Phones lighting up with no cause. Televisions flipping channels on their own. Emergency alerts that vanish before being read. This might seem like tech acting up, but what if it's more? What if we're in a signal war where the battlefield is frequency and the weapon is belief? Rach, do you think these odd signals could be more than coincidence? What's your take?
I don't believe in coincidence, Beck.
I don't either. In 1987, 2 Chicago TV stations were hijacked by a figure wearing a Max Headroom mask. Do you remember Max Headroom, or are you too young for that?
Googling it right now because I want to see. Yeah, I remember.
The broadcast was creepy, garbled, and unexplained. To this day, no one knows who did it. There are number stations, shortwave broadcasts of robotic voices reciting numbers, still heard today with no known origin. Listeners have also reported hearing whispers or tones on the AM radio during solar storms, especially around 3 a.m. That's something I never thought about doing.
Is this AM radio? Does that have a different frequency?
I think it does.
Okay.
Next solar storm, we should just put the AM radio on and let it roll.
I don't even think I have a radio.
Oh, man, you got to have an emergency radio somewhere, Rach. You got to get a hold of one of those. Do you think these were early tests in a larger war of frequencies?
I feel like it was definitely dipping toes and trying to be able to break the code or something.
Before we go forward, we need to go back. The Annunaki appeared in Mesopotamian mythologies, especially Sumerian and Akkadian, as beings who from heaven came to earth. They were said to be sky gods, judges, shapers of humanity. They brought civilization, law, agriculture, even kingship. But they also brought hierarchy, control. In Zecharia Sitchin's version, the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial geneticists who modified early humans to mine gold for their planetary needs. Over time, their myth morphed, blending into the Nephilim of the Bible, the Watchers from the Book of Enoch, and even modern reptilian theories. So were they gods, aliens, angels, or all of the above? Rach, do you think the Anunnaki are just ancient symbols, or is this a memory deep in our DNA?
Have you ever watched like the Gaia channel?
Yes.
There was a guy who said he was connected, like something spoke through him or he remembered something, and he talked about the Anunnaki. And I thought it was really interesting because he said that they were trying to create something to live. Like they're trying to create us, and they blended us with cats, but their attitudes or whatever didn't work out. Then there was the lizards, like the reptilians. And so there's reptilian people, but they still weren't connected to like humanity enough. So then they mixed the DNA with the primates and it created us because they want us to have more of that empathy, but also not forever living either. So to have more of a like humanity type of life. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of what I got from that video. I watched it a long time ago, but I did think it was really interesting.
I think if we were genetically mixed by a race of beings, that makes more sense than evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Enuma Elish, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but that's the Babylonian creation epic. The gods grow weary of doing manual labor. So one god suggests creating humans to do the work. They mix clay with the blood of a slain deity, and from this mixture, humankind is born to serve. In the Atrasis epic, the gods again complain about labor and make humans for servitude. When humans become too noisy, too many, they unleash plagues and eventually a great flood to wipe them out. Does that sound like a divine plan of love or a system of control? How does hearing that origin story change the way we think about being created?
Ew, feels icky.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like this whole slavery thing. It seems to be the theme with this in the Anunnaki is that we were slaves and created for slavery.
Not cool, man.
Well, fast forward to today, and we see two polarized beliefs. One, that the Anunnaki are returning to guide us into the golden age. And two, that they never left and continue to manipulate us through systems of control. Now, a viral story recently circulated at a military base. Every soldier allegedly received a text message referencing the Anunnaki. The text disappeared from logs, left no trace. Was it a psychological op or something stranger? What would you do if you got a message signed to Anunnaki?
Screenshot it immediately.
Would you respond?
That, I don't know. Do you leave the Anunnaki on red? It's hard because I'd be like, is this a spam?
This is a big hoax, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like every time they say the throughway, I have a toll that's unpaid.
Yeah. I get those all the time.
Yeah.
That's the new one. You're like, wait a minute, I haven't even been on the throughway. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hi, I'm Rachel. Still not possessed, despite what Beck says. If you're digging this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. It lets the algorithm know we're worth haunting. You can also support us on Ko-fi. It helps with editing costs, spirit snacks, and Beck's ever-expanding pile of haunted tech. And if you haven't checked it out yet, our Beyond Files on YouTube is full of strange videos we find and react to. Paranormal, conspiratorial, and delightfully unexplainable. Got your own strange tale? Send it to thespiritpod@gmail.com. And if it gives us chills, we might just share it.
Some believe the Anunnaki didn't just intervene, they stayed. Not in body, but in bloodlines. Ruling families, dynasties, elites with divine right to rule. It's said that their lineage persists through global banking powers, monarchies, and silent shadow governments. Whether literal or symbolic, the idea is that modern power structures echo ancient cosmic hierarchies. Rach, what do you think? Are We being ruled by something non-human wearing a human face?
I don't know. That is definitely something I talk about a lot. Like, what actually rules the world, right?
Right. We know the elitists are doing something, but are those elitists these people?
Or are they the ones above those ones?
I don't know. Sometimes I do think that there's something kind of extra terrestrial that is in rule because it feels so unhuman at times.
Yeah. And, humans can only go so far with their ethics and
morals.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree. Control doesn't always come through violence. Sometimes it comes through ideas. Shape someone's beliefs and you shape their actions, their emotions, even their soul contract. Are belief systems being hijacked? Are we being programmed through positive thinking culture? Algorithm-fed spirituality or even false ascension channels? How can we tell when belief is liberating and when it's another's cage?
It's really hard these days with algorithm. You really don't know. Are you getting stuff because it's just getting force-fed to you? Or is it on your own will?
Yeah, again, I think it comes down to discernment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real people are reporting real anomalies. A woman meditating receives a phone call with whispering and static. A man's TV turns on at 4:44 a.m. with scrolling text in an unknown language. A teen hears their name spoken through Bluetooth speakers with no audio playing. Coincidence or contact? Have you ever felt like something non-human used tech to reach you?
I don't know if it's non-human. So that I can't prove.
I have. I felt that. I was using an AM radio once to do EVP, and I started hearing the most ungodly sounds. My mother was there to witness this, and what was strange was it sounded like pigs snorting, but in an alien kind of way, and we could hear people screaming, "Help us!" And I thought, this is so strange. This is some kind of like show on the radio. But it was coming through, and you know how EVP goes.
Yeah.
So it was coming through that quickly. So it was so creepy that we had to turn it off. It was just not, we weren't vibing at all. It was, yeah. So I do feel like I've had something non-human try to reach me, and I don't know what it wanted, and I don't want to know what it wanted.
Yeah, not with those sounds.
No. We're hearing a lot about ascension, but we must ask, ascending to what and guided by whom? False light entities can offer love, guidance, peace, and yet pull you into a spiritual paralysis. The trap is subtle. Follow the light, but never question the source. How do we keep our discernment sharp when something feels both beautiful and suspicious, Rach?
I just think you don't fully follow something. Like, don't just totally dive in. Always kind of question and test things. And again, go with your gut and your inner knowing and meditate on it too.
For me, I always ask, are you in the highest of good? Are you of God? Because if I get into a point where I'm not questioning that and it's feeling a little off and I'm just blindly following what it's saying, then I'm none the wiser. I don't know what's happening, but just making sure that I'm checking in, because if I don't get the proper response from that channel, I'm not going to continue it. Some say there will come a time when a great rescue will be offered. A ship, a savior, a download, a choice. And in that moment, many may say yes without asking the right questions. They may board that ship, not knowing it was never meant to take them home. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Brandon. I think his name is Brandon Biggs. He's not really a prophet as much as he's a watchman. And he has visions. He was the one that had visions of Trump getting shot at. And he's seen some crazy stuff. And he always proclaims God showed him. And maybe that's the case. But he keeps having this vision of this giant mothership coming. And people are just getting on that ship without asking questions, thinking that is their savior. It's like they're going to get off this earth and they're going to be able to avoid a rapture or avoid catastrophe or an apocalypse. And he kept seeing this in visions. So how do we know when something is here to help or to harvest?
That's tough. And I I'm just kind of the one that if everybody jumps on it immediately, I got to step back and not. I'm kind of like, what's going on here?
I've seen way too many movies.
Yeah, if it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
It is.
And that's the thing too. It's like, why would you blindly just be like, oh yeah, it's here to help, and when you know nothing of it?
Right.
It's exactly like you said, a trap. But what if the interference wants more than confusion? What if it wants exhaustion, obedience, trust? The more confused we are, the more likely we are to follow the loudest voice claiming clarity. I mean, we see it all the time. This war isn't for land. It's for bandwidth, your bandwidth. Rach, if this really is a war of signal and belief, what do you think is at stake?
Consciousness? That's
Could
the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Our energy source.
Those are good answers. I like those answers for 500, Alex. You can't always avoid interference, but you can anchor your signal. Speak your sovereignty aloud. Question every voice that flatters your ego. Choose alignment over comfort. And above all, remember who you were before they told you who to be. Rach, what's your spiritual go-to when things feel scrambled?
I go to my tarot deck, and I'll also use my pendulum. The pendulum is a very, very easy way to get answers.
And you trust it.
I do, yeah.
So here's the bonus. Are you being hijacked? Signs your frequency may be under spiritual attack. Tech draining your energy. Repeating intrusive thoughts. Dreams that feel programmed. Loss of intuition or connection to higher self. Ask yourself, does this belief empower or imprison? Final thoughts for someone who feels like they've lost their inner signal.
I would say turn off your technology. Put down your phone, turn off the news, get outside, get into nature, ground yourself, make yourself a nice tea. I know this just sounds like whatever yogi stuff.
Yeah, but that's us. It's good stuff.
Yeah, but it's like all the interviews we ever had, it's like all the same things.
They always say the same things,
Yeah.
but there's truth to it. That's why there's a common thread. Yes.
Like you have to disconnect.
Yeah.
And I get spiraled. If I am around people too long, if I don't get to be by myself, even the people I love to be around, I need to be alone. Like everyone needs to be alone sometimes and to not have anything manipulating how they think or feel.
Right.
Like you just got to be in quiet. You just got to go touch a tree.
Sit in the grass.
Yep. Just do that and decompress and sit with yourself. Think of your own thoughts. I know meditating's hard, but it is such a tool.
It really helps you connect to your inner signal.
It does.
Wow.
It truly does.
I reclaim my signal. I tune to the truth beneath the noise. No being may hijack what I have remembered. No savior will be worshipped over the voice of my own soul. I am the broadcast now. Thank you for joining us for this episode of To the Spirit. Stay sovereign, stay curious,
and stay tuned.
To the Spirit
Podcast.
Supernatural Science.
Aliens.
I'm ghost.
Psychic. Mystic.
Spirit.
Divine Source.
Heaven.
The dead. It's magic.